This is Frank Fortunato. This is a broadcast of CATEX-TV coming from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Friday, June 10th, 2011. Today in history, Prince Philip, the husband of Queen Elizabeth II, is 90 years old today. He's still pretty spry, actually. Some pretty big news coming from the insurance industry today. Up in Boston, Edmund Kelly, a relatively young man who's the CEO and chairman of the board of Liberty Mutual Group, has announced that in 18 days, June 28th, he's going to be stepping down as chief executive officer of the company. The position is going to be taken by David Long, who most recently has served as Liberty Mutual's president. Kelly is going to continue to serve as chairman of the Liberty Mutual Holding Company's board. Long has been with Liberty Mutual for more than 25 years. Kelly first came to Liberty back in '92 after a successful career at Aetna. Kelly said it gave him, quote, great pleasure to hand the reins over to Long, saying, I've worked with him more closely in the past year and I've been more and more impressed with him. Very interesting. We'll see what news surfaces over the next few days about this, but this is sort of unexpected. Here's a very interesting development coming from London. One of the biggest Lloyd's syndicates that handles coverholder business has decided to get involved in a much more direct way. Kiln Syndicates, which is a subsidiary of Tokio Marine Holdings, has purchased a 49% stake in a big Lloyd's coverholder based in California. The underwriter is called WNC. It's a managing general underwriter. Kiln bought a 49% stake for $40 million. The existing management will retain a 51% stake, so that means it was approximately an $80 million valuation. WNC was launched way back in 1962. It claims to be the largest Lloyd's flood, wind, and excess flood contract holder in the United States. It claims to handle about $100 million a year of premiums. WNC will retain its existing brand and management team. WNC has had a relationship with Kiln since 1986. Tokio Marine, as part of the deal, is extending about $20 million in loans to WNC. WNC has business centers in Los Angeles, Dallas, and Milwaukee. Well, you knew that this was happening. This couldn't be orchestrated any better. First, we saw it with Munich Re, and then we saw it with Swiss Re, and then we began to see it with AXA, and then we began to hear from Lloyd's, the syndicates anyway, and now we're hearing it from the United States. American Insurers this week asked President Obama to back a delay in global rules that would mandate new regulations for the industry's biggest companies. The Financial Stability Board, which is an international committee coordinating the overhaul of global financial regulation, is trying to identify which companies are so-called systemically important financial institutions. The proposal should be ready sometime this summer, but in a letter sent to the president and released yesterday, American Insurers said that the global insurance and reinsurance industry should be delinked from the Financial Stability Board's timeline for designating such too-big-to-fail companies. The American Insurance Association, a trade group, said, we feel this is necessary because to date the FSB's work has justifiably concentrated on banks. The industry cites sharp differences between banking and insurance and said a separate timeline would allow the Financial Stability Board to better understand the insurance industry. Well, it's June 10th. The hurricane season began June 1st, and lo and behold, the first letter of the alphabet, we have a named storm, Hurricane Adrian. This is a Pacific hurricane. It strengthened to a hurricane this morning off of Mexico's Pacific coast. It's the first one of the season. The Mexican government issued a storm watch from Acapulco all the way up to Punta San Telmo. Adrian's about 265 miles southwest of Acapulco, and it's heading out to sea with maximum sustained winds right now of 75 miles an hour. If it remains on course, everything's fine, but if it makes a shift to the right, to the east, some storm conditions along the coast could increase to a hurricane watch. Mexico has no oil installations in the Pacific coast, but its beaches are dotted with resorts popular with American tourists. Well, that's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Have a pleasant weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday.